Yes, and we are live. Welcome to Boost, Booze, and Barbecue. This is Andy with me, as always, but not last week. Last week
before.
Bro, we had so many technical issues. Anyways, this is F. Coyson Masterson joining me today. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I had a good 2 weeks off.
Yeah, it was solid 2 weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to tell us about your overlanding experience, by the way? We might not have enough time to cover everything that happened. Can you give us an
I wouldn't even really call it an overlanding thing. I just went to Christmas Valley.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of sand dunes there. Turns out when Crater Lake, or Mount Montezuma, I guess before it was Crater Lake, exploded, it dropped a bunch of minerals in the middle of the desert, and those are now sand dunes that you can go drive on.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Burned around there. Went to a place called Crack on the Ground.
I've been to that strip club.
This is going to totally blow your mind. It's a crack in the ground. So, yeah.
And that's about it, huh?
You can walk down in it. It's pretty cool. It's nice and cool down there.
Okay.
You're in this little thin, looks like an earthquake crack, but it's 40, 50 feet deep, maybe.
I'm going to petition to change the sign to say your mom.
Okay. You could probably just go change it. I mean, it's literally in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that's a good point. It's kind of, what do they call that? You're on the honor system when it's stuff like that,
now,
right?
there is a place over east called Hole in the Ground.
Ooh. Oh. Yeah, I've been to that strip club, too.
No. That was Hole in the Wall.
It honestly, the holes are everywhere.
Stall.
The holes are everywhere. I just recommend you don't look in them.
It's a glorious hole in the ground.
Glorious hole in the ground. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, I went over there, drove around.
We got our first like. Ryan Frisbee is watching. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, bud. Yeah, drove around, had a good time, drove home. Nothing super special. I do it every year.
Well, I haven't been able to make it yet, and even though I have an off-road capable-ish truck, it hasn't happened. So one of these years, I'm going to make it happen. We need to just stop making plans. I mean, you plan this thing out months in advance, but unfortunately, we also planned out our trip months in advance, and it was like, well, how do we...
Yeah. Yep. We'll do it next year. Yeah. Next year, every year, there's a place called the Dinner Tree that is over there.
You always talk about the Dinner Tree.
I'm always going to go. I always wait to see who all's going to make reservations, and then I'm too late. So next year, the second I figure out when I'm going, I'm calling on making my own reservations. People who join last second, suck it. I'm fucking going, okay?
Yeah.
I've been trying to go to this place for years.
Yeah.
It's just to explain what that is. It's called the Dinner Tree. It's a big barn next to a giant tree in the middle of the desert. It's an old chuck wagon site where cowboys used to, bring in cows and stuff, and it's just heritage carried on till now. You can show up and they have two options on the menu, like a 32-ounce steak or a whole chicken, and with all the fixins, So it's just a giant meal, and family style seating, and it seems super awesome.
I don't know, for whatever reason, when you said it's carried over from the cowboy days, instantly my brain started playing the Walker Texas Ranger theme.
In the eyes
Ranger upon you.
Yeah.
Whoever decided that Chuck Norris could sing the song for that, it was both
behind you,
the worst
where the Ranger's gonna be.
It was both the worst and the best decision they ever made.
I actually watched the opening preview that shows all the different little cool parts of a bunch of different shows right there at the beginning.
Right.
I was just thumbing through the channels and was on the retro TV channel, and it was going. It looks like a homemade fan trailer.
Yeah, it does.
You just see a Dodge pickup with a show bar grrr, going sideways, and then a bunch of really crazy roundhouse high kicks.
Yeah.
And some old guy slamming a gavel down, and cowboy hats, and some guns getting fired, and then boom, first name of the episode. It's wow.
Yeah, Chuck Norris slamming a beer and punching a woman in the face.
I've literally never done video editing at all, and I'm pretty sure I could make a better trailer for that show first try.
Yeah, but how many episodes? No, forget episodes. How many seasons that thing run? That show lasted a while.
All of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, that's what happens.
I mean, I don't even know for sure if it's off the air. They could be making new episodes right now.
That's
a
good point.
I haven't verified.
I mean, Chuck Norris is trying to dye his hair jet black, which he's a redhead, so it never made any sense to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. Anywho, we had a little family dinner at our place yesterday. You were able to come over and have a little bit.
Yeah.
Not intern Jake on a whim. It really seemed like a whim. Not knocking the guy, definitely. I mean, this was an amazing experience. He reached out to me maybe a month ago, and he was like, bro, I want to smoke a whole alligator. And I said, a whole alligator? And he was like, yeah, a whole alligator. And I said, well, I mean, if you buy it, then I guess we'll do it. And what was it, Tuesday? He texts me the receipt. Like, literally texts me the receipt. And it's just like, all right, it's on the way. I'm having it shipped to your house. Fucking cool. We are doing a whole alligator this weekend. So, you know what's funny is the song says, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Turns out it's smoking a whole fucking alligator is what brings all the boys to the yard.
Wrapping something in bacon brings all the boys to the yard. Yeah.
True, yeah. So producer Nick's got some photos up for us. That's what it looked like when it arrived. It was packed in ice and all folded up crazy. And go ahead and scroll through the photos there for us. Oh, there's some venison. By the way, we got to give a shout out to Billy Twang. They sent us some different rubs to try on the alligator. I thought it was quite good. Their punch rub is spicy as fuck, and I love it.
The one you put on the venison was the punch rub?
Yeah.
That was superb rub.
Yeah, it was hot, but it was good. There you go. That's on the grill right there. We wrapped them in bacon. They were beautiful pieces of meat. Ryan Harris brought that stuff, and I loved it. All right, let's make our way over to the there you go. Delicious. Coy brought some salmon. We went ahead and threw some rub on that, threw it on the grill. Super tasty. Loved it. That whole alligator, though, man, look at that beast.
That's awesome.
The only thing that I wasn't happy about, first of all, as prepared as I was, I don't have the experience working on something like this, and so there were parts of the tail that were not done all the way and had to be cut off and re-grilled, which was my fault. I remember Craig Verhaga in his episode, or excuse me, in his video where he's preparing a whole alligator, I remember him separating the muscles out on the tail. And I wasn't really following, why you would do that, but now I get it. You need to separate those out because they're massive chunks of meat, and so they really need to be cooked down. But we just rolled it at like 275 for 4 hours. It was falling off the bone. Just absolutely amazing. And you know what? I'm an alligator fan now.
It was good. And the biggest thing it did for me was make me wonder what other kind of exotic animals I should eat.
Red-tailed hawk.
Yep.
Bald eagle.
Spotted owl.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those little armadillo things in Africa. Pangolins or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Platypus.
I think they're poisonous, but still.
We actually have a show that we're wanting to do. It's going to be called Will It Devil?
Yeah.
And we just go around finding any eggs we can from any animal that lays eggs. Any animal that lays eggs. And we try to figure out if it's going to make a deviled egg.
Yeah. It'd be like a, crocodile hunter type thing where I'm like charging into a wild platypus nest and like grabbing a couple eggs and I'm running off. This duckbill thing snapping at me. Next episode, I'm like running through a chicken house. I'm getting attacked. I'm grabbing eggs and we're boiling them and deviling them. Yeah.
I love that plan. I think we're going to end up doing that when I'm a billionaire and I can just do anything I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'm getting the pituitary gland out of this kudu in South Africa.
Where you can actually bring your friends, but when you have to steal the eggs from the ostrich, you're like, all right, you have to be the distraction, bro. And they're like, why can't you be the distraction? And I'll steal the eggs. It's like, well, I'm rich.
That's totally a Mr. Beast episode.
Yeah.
That 1,000% is a Mr. Beast episode.
I'd have to go in.
Producer Nick is laughing because he knows what I'm talking about. Mr. Beast, I shouldn't say that. Mr. Beast, I love you if you ever want to come on the show. Bro, that shit is just straight ridiculous. And you can tell that all of his friends hate him. I'm just being honest. Because every video I watch where he's like, hey, everybody. Here. Hey, everybody. Today we're going to be giving $5,000 away to the first person to chug a liter of semen. And all of his friends are just like, fuck.
That's probably how I would feel.
Hey, everybody. You're going to put your hand on this house, and the last person to have a hand on the house wins the house. And just that whole video, all of his friends are just like, yay, hooray. Let's get this shit over with.
I really wish I was one of the friends, honestly, because I would always ruin the video because I'd put my hand on the house, be like, hey, guys, how many of you brought mace? And they'd all look at me, and then I'd do like slow smile, slowly pull out a can of mace, you know. They'd be like, no, you'll be disqualified. I'm like, yeah, doesn't matter.
Alex Braskovich says, preach. Thank you. Someone else knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, that alligator, bro, that was insane. I'd never experienced anything like that. And I can't really go into it, but some of my business dealings were happening on Saturday when they should not have been. Some stuff happened. The Taiwanese government needed stuff from us, and I was doing work while I was trying to cook this alligator right up until the sun set in that part of the world, and then I could finally cook in peace. Mm-hmm. But it was a crazy day. I mean, it was just like everything was happening all at the same time. And then when we finally, the alligator was off and we all started drinking, my friend Garrett, longtime friend of mine, didn't see him for a number of years because he was living in Iowa. And then we ran into him at a barbecue competition. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, I'm back, baby. I moved back to Oregon a couple of years ago. I'm married. I was like, what? Mm-hmm. So we've kind of reconnected. He's the guy that built that trailer smoker for me. Yep. He's got another smoker that he's building that's going to be a vertical. It's a 3 foot in diameter, 5 foot tall, and it just literally has a fireplace on the bottom, but it's going to be awesome, I swear. Yeah. And I'm pretty excited to see that. But he came over. Hey, can you show us that shirt that he was wearing one more time? Absolutely hilarious. Producer Nick is going to find it. He has some of the funniest shirts.
Yeah, I agree.
Yesterday he was wearing a shirt that said DILF, mm-hmm. Devoted, invested, loving father. Yeah, there we go. Pork star. I love that shirt. That is hilarious.
That's a great shirt.
Anyone out there that wants to send us some T-shirts to wear, feel free to send them, and we will wear them on the show.
Double X right here.
Yeah, double X here too. Working on my triple X. We're getting there. Little insider trading for you guys. Right over his right or left shoulder, depending on how you're looking at the photo, you can see into our amazing, massive, wonderful studio.
That's right. That's right. You can see the corner of the green screen there.
Yeah, that's where the sausage is stuffed. I was going to say that's where the fudge is packed, but that's a little too vulgar for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Coy.
Yes.
You brought this cider 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I did.
We hadn't had a chance to try it. This is kind of our booze of the day. A little bit later on, we're going to get to our mystery beer of the day. But Avid Cider Company Black Apple. It's blackberry, currant, and apple. And I got to tell you, dude, this shit's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very dry. It's not very sweet, mm-hmm. and has a ton of flavor. Mm-hmm. It's exactly what you want in a cider, in my opinion.
Can you ever go wrong with blackberry cider?
No.
It's just kind of a universal fact, isn't it?
I've never had a Marionberry or blackberry cider that I was like, oh no, this is gross.
Yeah, we have some Two Towns Marion, made Marion in the fridge.
Delicious. And that's on the sweeter end. Mm-hmm. Still good. This stuff's very dry. Still good.
Dry.
It's all good.
A little tart. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm very impressed with this. Run out and get yourself some. Let us know in the comments what you are drinking yourself. Probably not much because it's a Sunday night, but, if you want to be hardcore, Coy, you got to be hardcore.
That's right. Absolutely right.
Speaking of hardcore, Coy is hardcore. He likes to piss me off. He sent me something about the Ford Bronco. And listen, it's good news, but the video was just so annoying. Nick, can you go ahead and pull up? It's the Motor Trend tab, the MT. Yep. So, the new Ford Bronco has been making its rounds, doing some trail testing. And, Coy, you're going to tell us all about that. But make your way down to the video for us there, Nick.
Yeah, it appears there's been three dark Ford Broncos of varying soft top, hard top,
you know what, Nick,
four-door package.
Go to the next tab over, and then one more.
Anyways, people have been seeing them popping up at different trails around the United States and Canada. Dude on Facebook was just wheeling up in the mountains, and all of a sudden, 3 Broncos. He's coming down the trail, and he just sees 3 Broncos on some glacier.
And by the way, this info is from Bronco6G.com.
And then the couple week and a half ago, somebody posted some pictures of some Broncos sitting outside of a lodge or hotel in Lake Tahoe. with some trail damage, and then more videos surfaced. They took them to the Rubicon. In what I can only see as a way to flip the middle finger to Jeep.
Yes.
Excuse me. So,
yep, and we'll get to that. Jeep is trying to push back a little bit. Go ahead and play this video for us, Nick. Okay, the thing that drove me nuts, I'm just going to go ahead and say it now, and you guys can skip ahead a little bit if you want, but it never actually shows the Bronco getting up the trail, and that just was like such a cock block.
I will say I like these tires that are on it. They're not available in the United States. They're a Goodyear tire. I saw a video or the picture of it. I'm like, oh, those are good looking tires. Where could I get some? Turns out you can't. So,
oh, I see in the middle.
So there are some Canadian only tire.
Now, listen, I don't know what the logic is behind this, but why is he trying to climb this giant boulder after backing all the way out?
I honestly don't know, and I don't know how Jeep does their Rubicon trail rating, but they have to have made the whole Rubicon. Looking at this giant boulder, we obviously can tell that a freaking Jeep Liberty never ever drove over that. So Rubicon has a bunch of hard lines and easy lines.
Ooh, let's see if there's a sound effect here. Wait for it.
The bad thing about these rocks are so slippery.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do that. He's grabbing pretty good though.
Damn.
Oh, he's sliding in.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep, that was body.
Yep. You hear that clunk, clunk.
Yep. So legend is that there is a massive team. They have 3 or 4 Jeep Broncos. There's a Wrangler JL Rubicon with them, which we can only assume is for either benchmarking or to pull them out when they get stuck. Depending on which side of the aisle there you're talking to.
Yeah.
And the story is that they had such a big group of what I'm assuming is videographers and engineers and test drivers or whatnot that they actually choppered supplies into them on the Rubicon.
What?
Yeah. How cool would it be to be part of that? Like, oh, it's dinner time. Yeah, it'll be here any second. What do you mean? Who's bringing dinner? Is somebody bringing a quad up here? And nope, there's a helicopter coming.
Let me see here, man. This was the Ford Bronco Sasquatch edition, okay?
I think that particular video is actually the, what was it, Black Rock edition or something like that?
Oh, is that what it is?
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't think that one was actually the Sasquatch edition, though.
Oh, I gotcha. So it looks like the Sasquatch package is available on every Bronco. 17-inch beadlocks, 35-inch mud tires, and an electromechanical transfer case locking front and rear axles, fender flares, additional suspension clearance, and heavy-duty Bilstein shocks.
Yeah, the Sasquatch package is their version of a Rubicon package. You know, it's the top-end off-road package.
Right, but it also requires you to have the 2.7-liter V6 with the 10-speed automatic. You cannot do the Sasquatch package on one of the base model manual transmissions. Yeah,
it turns out the manual transmission only comes with the Loto motor. You can't get it with the big 2.7.
Right. We say a little motor, but I mean that 2.3-liter 4-cylinder puts out 300 and some odd foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, so nobody really knows exactly what all is going on with the package options. Mm-hmm. It's odd at this point, but will hopefully be made clear soon.
I can tell you right now, I'm making an assumption, but it's an educated assumption. I bet the turbo on that little 2.3 that's in the Bronco is the size of this sipping glass.
Oh, it's a little.
I have no doubt. You've seen how small the ones are on my truck. Could you imagine on that 4-cylinder? And could you imagine the size of the turbo when they're trying to make torque and not like top-end power?
Yeah. No, it's little guys.
I was watching I think it was a TRC video here a while back. They were featuring a shop. It was a Ford shop, and they were going through a bunch of different vehicles, and I was just I wasn't like intently watching it, I had it playing in the background while I was doing something else, and all of a sudden the guy says, oh, we don't just do Mustangs, we also tune EcoBoost cars, and we have a customer with one of the brand new Explorer STs. And I'm sorry, I don't have the video ready or anything like that. Sorry about that, you guys. We'll find it. We'll post it underneath of this episode at some point. But he said, yeah, so the only things we've done to this Explorer ST is tune and E85. That's it. And it ran a 12.27 in the video.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what?
Impressed.
I don't know, man. I know some people are still on the fence about those EcoBoost engines, but I'm just like, holy shit. I mean, come on, man. A tune, and some different gas. How can you beat that?
Unless you can tune on pump gas, that's the only way to beat that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're Ford F-150s that are running 12s on pump gas after a tune. So it's coming around. We're going to be able to do that. Personally, I think if I were ever wanting to make my truck fast, which I certainly don't need to, but if I ever did, I would just do a methanol injection kit.
Yeah.
That'll lower your intake air temperatures, gives you some much needed octane for the fuel. I mean, it's just, I think that would be the better option all the way around. I don't know how well it'll play with all of the sensors in the EcoBoost motors.
I don't think it'd make any difference.
No?
I wouldn't think. I can't think of any time a methanol injection has played with sensors. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. I just worry about it with all of these like super 5 sensors that the air goes through before it hits the motor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're driving in the rain, there's a certain amount of like water and humidity in there, so it's got to be a certain amount fortified against liquids. So
sure. Well, so let me ask you this question: would you consider wheels, a drop-in K&N filter, and a tune a build, like quote unquote a build?
Let's see. So wheels, a drop-in K&N filter.
Oh, and a sticker that says "Built Not Bought."
I would if it was like a sweet riding lawnmower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I built it. Look, dude, aftermarket wheels, air filter, done. Drift charm, yeah.
Exactly. The balls, the blue balls on the back.
Yeah, truck nuts.
Yeah, truck nuts. Thank you.
Yeah.
These are mower nuts.
Yeah, mower nuts.
There's listen, man, I'm not trying to put anybody on blast. There is a video out that people are making quite a lot of fun of. I think producer Nick has that ready for us. It's a built not bought. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here, Nick. There we go. I don't want the music.
Spike lug nuts.
Pink spike lug nuts go on stock wheels. And pink headlight covers. And, no, don't want that music. Oh, and some pink lowering springs. This young lady is jumping up and down on her car. Sorry, no audio. We don't want to get this thing flagged down. She's very proud of her Civic, and she's saying built not bought. Pink steering wheel. A Gucci sticker covering her dash gauge so she can't see anything. A very dirty Honda Civic with bumper ties for no apparent reason. The dildo shifter, nice. Is that a plastic bag for the cover?
I'm not sure what was going on there. It was probably a Japanese plastic bag, though.
Oh, all of the stickers, Coy. All of the stickers.
This thing's super sweet.
I hope Alex Prescoviz is still watching. He's probably not. The dude's kind of ADD. No offense, Alex. I love you.
I swore I saw some Lincoln logs in there for a second. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So pretty much...
Is that a Honda Fit?
Yeah, that's a Honda Fit. And pretty much the reason why the person here is catching a little flack is because... she's all about the built not bought and talking some crazy shit. Like, if you don't build your car, you're not a true car enthusiast.
Yeah, well, I mean, she did some stuff. Nothing that added power or handling, but...
So adding stuff like really bad tint over the lights and stickers.
Different steering wheel.
Different steering. Well, sure, she's changed out the steering wheel. So no longer is there an airbag.
Yeah. Well, that's, a part of having a race car is it being less safe than stock.
That is fair. It doesn't have to be faster. It has to be less safe.
I was going to say, usually that's because, that's a natural progression of faster, so less safe. But you can just start making it less safe before you make it faster.
That's a good point.
There's nobody's written a rule.
That's a really good point.
Like, I was there when the rules were written for racers, and no one wrote anything about that.
Okay, well, so like,
I
is that
think
built?
technically she's glitched in. Like she found the backdoor route. Like this is where you're hiding in a wall in Black Ops, and they're like, yeah, there's a glitch. You can hide inside the wall and shoot people. So yeah, you have a 94-0 kill streak. Technically, you weren't cheating though.
All right, let's just pretend for a second that instead of all pink accessories, it was all green accessories. And
If this was a dude, I would never stop trashing him. Is that what you're asking?
yes,
Yeah. No. I would talk to him for like 30 seconds, establish a relationship, and then start talking crap about his car.
Okay, all right. I think that might actually make you sexist, if I'm honest.
Maybe. Except for I would only do that. Like, I would do that to this chick, but then people would immediately call me sexist. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is. You're both coming and going.
Like, I would trash her, but then people would trash me, where if it was a dude, I'd be safe, you know?
I don't know. These days, I don't know. I don't know if you'd be safe or not. I mean, man, the car, just the whole world, the whole scene is just changing in so many different ways.
I'm sorry, people who build fits, it's open season with no limit. Like, if you're building a Honda Fit,
Yeah.
it's open season. If that fit, if you're building a Fit and you don't want to get made fun of, it has to be exceptional. Like, you have to look at it and go, holy crap, that's fast.
Yeah.
Like, it has to make weird noises, strange explosions out the exhaust. Weird stuff has to happen when someone builds a Fit, and we're all like, yeah, that's how you build a Fit.
So basically, if I were able to buy this girl's Fit after the engine is blown, obviously, I mean, that's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, after somebody runs this out of oil.
Right, exactly. And it starts telling knock-knock jokes, and she doesn't get them. Then if I buy that, I don't change anything. Like, I leave it completely 100% exactly the way that she had it, the way she built it, except for two very basic modifications. Are you ready for those?
Built case here, swap.
Yeah, K24. And drag radials in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And that's it. I leave everything else.
You leave everything else.
Even the light tinting that was tearing off, that she was just like, oh well, car life.
Pink steering wheel is still in there.
Come on, of course, bro.
Tell me more about the K24 swap. This is just the stock TSX K24?
It's the stock K24, but it is boosted. We've got
Okay.
We've probably got like a precision 6068. I can't say 6660 anymore because they don't make those anymore. I forget what the nomenclature
we're
is on.
talking standalone ECU.
Probably.
You put a Gucci sticker over a Haltech data logger, put it on the dash.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Gucci sticker is on the dash cluster, right? That would stay. It's just that it's just that the Haltech or the EMS
You just put it in front of that
display goes in front of it. Yeah,
Gotcha. Then that's technically built for sure. Like, I wouldn't
for a man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you add a turbo to something when turbo wasn't a factory option, you're pretty safe.
So what I'm hearing is if I just put a TSX K24 in it, that's not enough.
No, that'd be enough, but it'd still be a Fit. I'd be like, well, that thing's pretty fast, but he just put $5,000 into a Fit.
Yes.
I'd be like, it's built, but he's retarded.
Yes, but those K24s, I'm pretty sure with tuning and like cams and some bolt-on supporting mods, aren't they capable of 300 and some odd horsepower?
I don't even know. They're quite capable though.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're like an LS engine.
Scary fast Fit, but it's still a Fit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It goes from being a fuck you build to a fuck me build.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
instead of fuck me pumps, it'd be a fuck me fin.
Now, honestly, if I picked this up, I would keep going in the same vein. I would do the K24 swap.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd go all motor though, just to make people angry, like ITBs, everything. So I've got $12,000 invested in this motor at a minimum, plus tuning. And then I would go with the inky teddy bear wheels all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would keep that pink theme, and then I would just be screaming. I would heel-toe downshift everywhere it went.
Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't look like the thing about your teddy bears that you put on it. They wouldn't look like they had a bunch of wheel lip like people like. They'd be pushed out, And people would be like, huh, it has like weird wheel spacers, and then they would look and realize you're running 275s all the way around. You had gotten some of those, and you know what? I think I'm wrong. Are they Anki?
I thought they were Anki.
Man, they're something. But either way, you would just take them and stretch them like super wide.
Yeah, no,
but they would
I'd
still
send
look
them
factory
in,
on the
get
outside.
them cut and rewelded with
Right.
like 9-inch wide wheels.
Right. I have to admit, I like when people do that. Like when they build a sleeper, an old Ford Fairlane or something, you know, and then they make sure that they have the factory hubcaps that are able to pop over their weld drag wheels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where it's like you spent more money making it look stock than you could have just went and bought 10-inch wide meats. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Like you could have got some American Racing wheels for $120 each, but instead you sent off your factory's Steelies and had them cut and rewelded.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I appreciate. Like for me, when someone says they built their car, that's definitely one of the aspects. If you're doing something like that for that reason, like here's the factory wheels, I just had them widened to 10 inches.
I like that. And, you know, everybody's version of built is different. I know some guys where if you're just ordering parts out of a catalog and putting them on, they're like, yeah, you're not building it.
Yeah, but it's like the title says, built not bought implies that you didn't buy any of your parts.
See, I always thought the built not bought, like to me, kind of meant that you didn't send it car to a shop. Like you bought parts and then put them on yourself.
Sure, that's fair.
Like you built it.
But you remember there for a while, it was just kind of the fun thing to be like, built not bought, all my parts are stolen.
Yeah, that was, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember when Hondas always got stolen. There was always stolen parts around.
Oh, yeah.
And if you bought parts off Craigslist, you'd be like, yeah, I got a B18 off Craigslist for $300. So hopefully the cops don't come. But
yeah, I got a B18 from this guy that my buddy knows. He didn't have any teeth, but he had a whole row of B16s.
like, there was a time I was actually at the PIR drag strip, and a dude like turned around and looked at the CRX like, what the hell? Those are my wheels.
Yes.
And he goes, walks over, looks at him, he like looks at them all, and it had like a scratch that he already knew about. Like, look, these are my wheels. And he like confronts the dude. The dude's like, I bought them off Craigslist. And like he had pictures of his old car with this same scratch on the wheels. He called the cops, and cops came and they're like, they basically just said, yeah, I know you got pictures, but like he says he bought them off. Like, what are we supposed? We can't really do anything here.
No. What are they going to do?
Yeah, like what are we supposed to do? Hang on both the wheels and come back to you? Like he bought them off Craigslist. You've kind of got like a loose circumstantial evidence.
Right. I mean, listen, that's why you always carry cinder blocks around with you. It's something to put that person's car on when you get your wheels back.
Those are my wheels, and start jacking up and taking them off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, we're going to start seeing that again. Ryan Ballant saying Hondas still get stolen a shit ton. Well, they definitely do. Coming back around to guys that we knew back in the day, we had a mutual friend that had like 6 or 7 Honda keys that he just carried around with him. They were all worn down, but because they were worn down, they opened almost any Honda lock.
Yeah.
It was scary.
I know Hondas still get stolen, but it was like, that was like people's jobs for a while. Mm-hmm. Like they just stole Hondas.
Wine guy Chris over on Pardon My Fork, his lovely wife Sarah, she dated a guy in Salem for a little while that got his CRX stolen from the gut while they were there hanging out. The CRX was mostly stock, but he had this insane sound system in it. And they were hanging out. Everybody was looking at his car. And this is, of course, her side of the story. There was a dude that walked up that was like, hey, man, I'd really like to check out your stereo. Would you mind if I, kind of got in and sat down? And he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. For whatever reason, I don't think I'd ever let anybody sit in my car while there's a ton of other people around. But at a certain point, a girl then gets in the passenger's side. And the boyfriend's just enjoying soaking up all of this attention. Wasn't a boyfriend, they were on a date, but you know what I mean. The dude she's on a date with is soaking up all the attention. Then all of a sudden, the car fires up and roars off. And he's like, what the fuck? And it was just gone. Never got it back.
That also was that same era was the era when people would get their sound system stolen. Mm-hmm. Like, they were worth money then. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's kind of stopped. Which is sad, because now, like, sound systems have, like, a 9-inch wide, TV built into it.
Yeah.
And back then, I mean, your deck was just like this, some LED alarm clock looking stuff going on.
Yeah.
You'd pop the faceplates off, put it in a case, and take it inside with you.
Ugh. I'm so glad we don't have those days anymore. Jason Parker says, had an Integra GSR for exactly 13 months. Made it out from the insurance, luckily. Hey, you got lucky, dude. Real lucky.
For a long time, Integras were the #1 most stolen car in America by a lot. And it was for, 10 years straight. It was for a long time. Mm-hmm. And Jeep Cherokees were somewhere right behind them for some reason.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh. Must have had their locks made by Honda.
Something.
Speaking of Jeeps, you had something else you wanted to talk to me about. Nick, if you just go up to the tab that says Jeep Gladiator. Jeep Gladiators. They're obviously on the ropes after the new Bronco has come out, right?
I don't know if they're on the ropes, but I mean, Jeep has to be feeling that Ford's coming after them.
I feel you're right, because Jeep just announced that it's not doing one special edition Gladiator. It's doing 2 special edition Gladiators.
Look at me. Look. No. No hands. I'm cool too. Like, it's like when there's 2 little kids and one's like, look, she can spell her name. And then the older kid's like, I can write my name too. Like, yeah. And it's like, okay, I get it. Like, yeah, we're going to look at you.
Nick, that Jeep fact, go ahead and open that image for us, or make it bigger if you can. So they're going to have 2 new special editions. One is going to be the Willys edition, which, I don't know, I'm hoping that they aren't just like pissing on the name of Willys with this.
They are.
Probably.
They are.
Yeah.
So the #1 thing here, we got 17-inch wheels, so that's 0. Rubicon, so it comes with sliders, Rubicon cap rails. Track lock limited slip, so they're going to throw a limited slip in the rear. That's decent, but I mean, still. Technology and Convenience Group 2TW, so basically upgraded interior package. Black exterior accents and Willys decals. So it's going to say Willys on the hood and have that little star or something. Mm-hmm. And body-colored fender flares.
So when you really boil it down, it's got slightly bigger tires. It's got
black trim and stickers.
But also a limited slipper diff.
And then the Gladiator.
Oh, so you know what that means?
Edition.
If you're looking to drift a Jeep Gladiator, that's the package to have.
Heck yeah. Slam it. REspeKt All BuiLDs.
What's the 80th anniversary edition?
18-inch wheels, so even bigger wheels. And all-terrain tires. An 8.4-inch radio with premium audio.
You were just talking about that. You were just talking.
Sweet
so
radio,
funny.
bro. 80th anniversary badging, so it'll say 80th anniversary on it. Neutral gray exterior accents. That's always what I want, is a neutral gray for my exterior accents. I like neutral colors.
Right.
To make the other neutral color that is the body pop.
Right.
I like to go neutral on neutral colors.
Yeah, whenever Coy prints something, it's always on grayscale. He just,
Yeah, I get gray construction paper and then just print it with gray print.
And gray his house with I'm gray.
Yeah, optional remote proximity keyless entry and remote start. And body colored fender flares as well. So these are 2 sweet packages that you can spend more of your hard-earned money on to get almost nothing different. But there you go.
Well, so I'm not actually sure what the base price is for the Jeep Gladiator. Let me take a look at this real quick, because these are not cheap. It doesn't seem like to me. They're going to make me go all through it. Okay, starts at $33,545. So the Willys Sport is actually like right on point. It's $35,245.
Yeah, but they've added nothing. Like they literally...
You get a little bit. You get the limited slip diff, and you get the rock rails.
For $2,000 more.
For, yes, $2,000 more. The Willys full package is $39,240. I would say why, but we're just going to move on. The 80th anniversary edition. So once again, 18-inch wheels with some kind of tire. We have no idea. Big ass screen for the radio, badging, remote start, keyless entry.
Well, neutral gray accents.
Neutral gray. Sorry, yes, neutral gray accents. $41,740. And Coy, let me say, they are selling these. They're selling the shit out of these Gladiators. People love them.
I agree. And they'll sell all of them. They'll sell all these special editions. It's special.
Is this just like fanboy famous, or like what's happening here? Look at these prices.
I don't know. You roll in the dealership and you're like, I want a Jeep Gladiator, and they got a couple special editions laying around. You're going to be like, ooh, what's this? It's a special edition. And even though it adds nothing, it says special edition on it. Come on, man. I own a Trails team. You know, like, they add almost nothing. My roof is color matched was the main reason I got it. But
I thought it had like
black. Nothing performance.
No?
There's not a single. I mean, to get a Trails team, it has to have the off-road package, you know, to get the Trails team.
Oh,
so,
I gotcha.
I mean, kind of, but you could get a non-Trails team with the off-road package. So
interesting.
And all my trim was black, you know, some different interior. You get the color match roof, and that's, Trails team FJ Cruiser.
Well, I don't know what the fuck my problem is. My truck is just a fleet vehicle. Like, that's how special edition I get.
Well,
I got a $40,000 pickup for $27,000 because it was
in
overstocked.
The fact that it blends in.
Yeah, I guess.
Blending. I'm blending.
It's got no carpet. It has waterproof seats. It's got the center console thingy, the tombstone, you know.
You could literally start like a lawn care business with that truck right now.
Yes, I could. Yes, I could. I might have to get a little bit more of a tan, but I could.
Yeah, you're going to get one of those shark cages that go in the back and then a little trailer, yeah.
Yeah, dude, my radio and everything, instead of being touchscreen, it's regular buttons, but they're fucking huge. And it actually said in the manual, it has these larger buttons and no touchscreen so that you can operate it while wearing work gloves.
Mittens.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a 4-inch screen with
my
massive
work
buttons.
gloves off when I go to drive a vehicle, but I guess maybe not everybody does.
You know those old people cell phones? I forget what they're called now. Is it a Cricket?
Track phones?
No. There's that certain type of phone that they used to advertise it for the elderly. Like, it's got massive buttons and it does nothing but just make phone calls. Do you know what I'm talking about, producer Nick? No, he has no clue.
I swear it's track phones.
No, there's a name for them. There's a name for them. Just type in old people cell phone. I'm sure it'll come up.
It's going to be a giant Nokia.
He's actually putting in old people cell phone. Calculator, that. Anyways, listen, man. That's what it feels like when I'm operating it. I feel like I'm just, like, it's kind of perfect for my ham fists, I have to admit.
You actually can just hit the buttons with your knuckle.
I can
fist bump the radio.
I can
play what you want.
Yeah. So what do we think about these two Jeep Gladiator packages? I mean, do either of them interest you at all, or is this just sort of like a good for them?
Yeah, it's mostly in the good for them department. That 80th anniversary edition is just poo. But, if I were in the market for a Willys Jeep and I wasn't going to step up to a Rubicon or something, like getting the limited slip and, a special edition for $2,000 more, I'd probably hit on that. Like, if I was looking at a base model, it's kind of it, and I said, I can get a special edition with a limited slip for $2,000 more. Like, I'm not a Willys, like, doesn't really interest me, but like I can see hitting on only $2,000 more for some cool stuff.
I mean, listen, how much is that limited slip going to cost you to buy and then install? That's got to be $1,500 by itself.
Maybe, probably not, but $1,000.
$1,000 maybe,
yeah.
And then the rock sliders, $500.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it comes with a few.
I mean, if that's stuff you wanted anyways, you're kind of getting your money's worth, I guess. Like. That limited slip and those rock sliders aren't as good as what the aftermarket's going to offer, but who wants to deal with that when you have a brand new rig? I'd hit on the Willys Jeep one, that 80th anniversary. I don't even know that's $5,000 more for what you get remote start and proximity keyless.
That's for the soccer moms buying them.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. No, I mean, literally, the keyless entry, the remote start, that's for people who aren't interested in off-roading. They're literally that's their daily commuter.
I guess. I don't understand why it's that much. I would feel like that one should be less. I feel like the prices are backwards on these. But
well, we got one more thing to talk about before we move on. It's actually budget overlanding in a big way. It's something I'm very interested in.
Okay.
Have you heard about this, Coy? It's the Moverlanding. Moverlanding. We are taking lawnmowers and doing special Gambler 500 treks. Producer Nick, that bottom right-hand one, go ahead and pop that open. We got a series of photos here from the Gambler 500 guys
They are literally on the Alvord Desert playa right now.
on lawnmowers. Are you telling me that you...
You know, I
would
like
not
the
do this?
idea of this. They rolled it, looks like they're winching it back on its side. My problem is, who in the world has time to tow a lawnmower to the Alvord and drive it around?
I agree with you. However, what if we found us some BLM land and did like Gambler 100, but on mowers?
I'm down. I'd be down.
4 days, 5 days. We're going to see how much land we can cover.
Here's what I want to do. We're going to go old school. Me and Andy used to do this. We called it the Grampy 500. We'd go in to like Walmart in the middle of the night, and we'd see how many of the electric carts we could get running that had keys left in them.
There we go. Look at this. Look at this, Coy.
Dude, these are legit cool.
I fucking
lawnmowers.
love this.
He's got KC daylighters on his mower.
Anyways, I'm listening. Please continue.
I'm just saying we take. Remember how we used to do the Grampy 500 at Walmart, and we'd hot lap. We'd
It
do
was
the
a Fogey 500.
Fogey 500 is what it was, and we do the ring road around the outside of the store
Yes.
with the electric carts and smash into each other till the Walmart people kicked us out.
Yes.
Yeah, but at night they don't kick you out because they just don't care. Like eventually one of them goes dead and you just have to walk away from it. But
Yeah.
other than that. So I say we get something along those lines. Like we get a bunch of hover rounds, we take them out in BLM land, and just we do the Fogey 500.
I like that plan. I like that plan a lot. As a matter of fact, no, go ahead and close out of this, producer Nick. Go to that one where the mower's towing a trailer. That's perfect for me right there.
That's what you need?
Yeah.
You need the teardrop trailer behind your John Deere mower?
Yeah, dude. One mower, one trailer. We got supplies in the trailer. You and I each have one of these. We don't have to sleep in the same tent. You know what I'm talking about?
Look, if I'm doing it, I'm going to have a rooftop tent on my mower somehow.
Ooh, what?
Like I'm going to build an exo cage and I'm putting a rooftop tent on it. Offers shade when you're driving. And I can pop that thing
Bro.
out. That's the only way to do this.
Dude, that's pure genius. That's pure unadulterated genius. Now, here's a question for you. Do we alter the speed or do we leave them stock?
Yeah, I have to alter the speed.
Okay. All right.
Like I'm going to tell everybody that it's stock mowers and then I'm altering the speed of mine. It's one of those.
I'm telling you, man, I am down to do this. I mean, and you know what? I don't want 1,000 people joining us. I want maybe like 10 dudes on mowers, and we just pick a 75-mile route somewhere where the wives can drop us off and pick us up pretty easily. Mm-hmm. They can just go, you know what? Let's pick a place in Eastern Oregon that has a day spa. Right?
I feel like 75 miles might be overshooting the mark a little bit.
50 miles.
I would do like 25.
25 miles. So 25 miles. They drive us 25 miles out of the city, and then we just trek back.
Back to the spa.
Well, back to whatever. We have a mutually agreed upon spot.
I'm going to like it when we're like convoying into Ben on mowers and people are passing all these overland.
Convoy. I just watched that movie the other day.
Big convoy traveling through the line.
I made my wife sit through that movie the other day.
You did that one too.
Yeah.
So-
She was just like, what the fuck is this?
So far you forced her to watch Smokey and the Bandit
Yeah. Escape from New York and LA.
and LA. Oh, you hit both?
Yeah, we hit both.
And now you've forced her to watch Convoy?
Yeah.
What do you think's next on the list?
I don't know. She made me watch some girl power movie. It literally was shot for shot Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Steve Martin. Shot for shot. Like it was 1,000. It was exactly that movie. Mm-hmm. They didn't change a thing. Like they changed a few things, you know. Instead of Steve Martin getting hit in the crotch, it was what's her face? Not Melissa McCarthy, the Australian one. You know, getting punched in the crotch and stuff like that. But I mean, literally shot for shot. So she made me sit through that. I'm definitely gonna find something to make her sit through.
May I make a suggestion?
Please.
Death Race 2000.
Yes. Oh, I
Every
just got
car
hard
person-
thinking about it.
Every car
Holy
person should
fuck.
watch that movie at some point.
Dude, yes, that is the one. You know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for when we're
Don't
watching
worry.
it.
I have a hand grenade.
No, bro. No. I'm waiting for when we're watching it, and she just goes, pause it. And then she looks at me and she goes, is that fucking Sylvester Stallone? That's going to be my favorite part.
And you'll just be like, yeah, this is pre-Rocky.
It was pre-everything. It was right after he finished doing porn.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, he might have did porn after that.
Fair enough. He needed the money. Man, I'm telling you, we gotta sit down and we need to start doing movie nights 3BQ style.
So we're like one night we do Red Line.
Yes.
What was that movie that was supposed to be like a Drift Guys movie? The RX-7?
200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I want to watch that so bad right now.
Dude, that's the best, worst movie ever.
When it like shows what is supposed to be the mile per hour gauge. You can see where they whited out a PSI gauge.
Yeah.
Like it's whited out, but you could still, if you pause it, you could see PSI under it.
Yeah. You don't have to pause it. You just have to be like looking at the TV and you can see it.
And all the drift scenes, they're like he's driving a green RX-7. Every time it drifts, it's just a green 240 drifting. Yeah. Just zooms out and suddenly 240 is drifting.
Oh, but that gauge scene, my favorite part about it is when they focus on it and it's supposed to be a speedometer and it's sitting at like 40 and then just goes bing, up to 160 just instantly.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Like all his internals will just explode.
He went so fast, he ended up in the second story of a building.
Yeah.
It just took off.
I don't
He was
feel
going
like
so
that's
fast.
really that hard to do if you've tried. See, the part of that movie that I love, because every car movie they do this, he's sitting there. He's got the hood up. He's at a car meet. The good-looking mechanic chick rolls up, and she listens to the car for a second, reaches under the hood, grabs something, just no tools, turns it, and then slams the hood and says, I see you've been messing with my timing adjustments again. And he goes, hey, is it my car or yours? And I'm like, wait, she just reached in there and just moved her hand around and adjusted the timing?
Yeah, that timing sounds real off. Bink.
Yeah.
Now it's perfect.
Yeah, it's insanely off. You'll never run again. Hey, you know what it sounds like when valves make contact with pistons? Watch this. Like, can you imagine how dangerous it would be if you could just reach into the hood of a car and change the timing?
Yeah.
I would have blown every motor of my friends. I'd just be like, hey, buddy, rev it up. Yeah, it sounds good. Twist.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It sounded like those valves were like doing a tap dance on those pistons.
Yeah. The timing of my engine's not the only thing retarded around here. All right, Coy, listen, we got to move on to the Smoke a Dealer, Smoking a Doob. However, and we've waited too long to do this. Corianne, as you guys know from 3 weeks ago, she bought us a whole shitload of beers, and it's Mystery Beer of the Week. We had to get that cider out of the way. Next week, we're just going to do the mystery beer, nothing else, so we can get out of the way early. What do we think this one's going to be? I'm guessing it's going to be something dark because I'm a dark beer fan.
Yeah, I'm going to guess big, bold, dark, caramely.
Oh, yes. The Sierra, the Sierra Nevada. Oh, I need to do it Coy style. Blah, blah, blah. That's for the ladies and a few of the men. The Narwhal, barrel-aged Narwhal Imperial Stout. So the Sierra Nevada Narwhal, great beer. Great beer. Big beer, but not expensive. It's one of the few things from Sierra Nevada I like, to be perfectly honest with you guys. This barrel-aged Narwhal, ugh. Have you ever had this before?
I've had the regular Narwhal, and I think I've had barrel-aged. I honestly cannot remember.
This is the kind of beer where I need to tip your glass when I pour it.
You got to get fancy.
Real fancy. I'm not actually going to pour you that much because I just want to make sure that you're down to clown before I give you a whole ton of it. What do you think? What do you smell?
It smells delicious. Smells delicious. I'm going to go ahead and get some taste here.
Show that to the camera there. Oh, yeah, buddy.
So it's warm. That's our fault, though. I like that.
You can smell the bourbon on it, too.
Definitely. It's a really a little sweet. Definitely get those caramels, vanillas. Got just a hint of oak.
Oh, man, I love this beer.
It's got a little smoke going on there.
I love this beer. Wow, that's so good. And it's not expensive either. This can was probably $5, $6. I mean, it's not an expensive beer.
What percentage are we rolling on these here?
I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably going to be like a 10.5. Coy's looking for it.
Yeah. Loading.
Boop, 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 boop,
Loading.
boop, boop. We're sorry. All brain cells.
11.9.
Whoa.
Stronger than I thought, honestly, after tasting it.
It doesn't taste like it's 12%.
No, it doesn't. And, I'm noticing on the finish, this has a pretty good coffee taste going on.
You know what that means? If something tastes like coffee and is an organ, it's technically a morning drink.
Done and done.
This is a breakfast drink.
Breakfast drink. Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Producer Nick, are we ready for the Smoking Deal, Smoking a Doob? All right, let's go ahead and get that pulled up.
Smoking Deal or Smoking a Doobie.
My favorite part of the week, you guys, Smoking Deal or Smoking a Doob, this week is being brought to you by alcohol. We've had a lot of it this weekend, and I forgot about the Smoking Deal, Smoking a Doob. Coy, in the clutch, he's like, bro, I have got exactly what we need. And I was like, this one might end up being the deal for me, to be honest with you. It is a 1977 Datsun 280Z with a 1JZ in it and an R154 manual transmission, so the good transmission. Yeah, I want. Needs a battery to run. Okay, so Coy, all it needs to run is a battery. Also, you need to run power to the ECU and the igniter, and then it needs fuel lines and a drive shaft. But that's it.
That's it.
You get that battery, and then the wiring.
Just literally throw a battery in, wire, finish the wiring,
fuel.
Yeah, run fuel lines.
And get a custom drive shaft.
Yeah.
And then you're fucking set. It's done.
Hey, that's all it needs, though.
That's it. That's all it needs.
Now,
look at that. The headlights are on, so obviously it gets power.
And it has, I'm guessing, a faux Rocket Bunny kit on it that's unpainted.
That looks so fucking even gray. And I know you love your grayscale.
Yeah, I love that neutral gray.
You love that neutral gray. Dude, when this thing gets some paint on it, I'd just paint those fenders black. I mean, honestly, I would have just painted them black.
I'm gonna be honest, if I had this car, I would go flat black on the entire thing, and I put a big skull and crossbones or a Punisher emblem on the hood, and wear a leather jacket, dark sunglasses, and just drive around. Get some red interior lights.
It has to be the skull and crossbones. The Punisher skull, that's played out now. It has to be crossbones.
See, I'm gonna do it like God, what was that Stuntman, that horrible movie with Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it up like that car.
One of the only oh shit, who's the director of that? Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
One of the only Quentin Tarantino movies that doesn't have like 60 instances of the N-word.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually think that Quentin Tarantino is one of the most racist people in Hollywood, and for some reason people get violently angry when I say that. But like, why else would he? I mean, literally, you sign up to do one of his movies, it's like you're getting handed an inward pass.
Hey, it's art.
Yeah.
So you don't understand it.
So is me chugging Mr. Beast semen for $5,000.
No, that's a meth addiction. That's quite a bit different.
It's a fetish, thank you. Listen, man, I love 240, 260, 280Zs as long as they are the pre 2+2. I like all of them.
Same spot.
I have a lot of people that I've talked to that say they only like the 240Zs. I don't really see that much of a difference between the 240, 216, 280 body-wise until you get to the 2+2. This one even has the window louvers in the back, Coy. You know I'm a sucker for those.
That's same here. This has everything going for it, and the price on this is $14,000. I've seen worse conditions of these, quite a bit worse, with stock 200,000 mile motors in them, going for this much. I don't know. I would have to see this in person to decide if it's a deal, but I mean, it's 1J swapped. It's got... The paint's actually pretty good. If he had actually not put the flares on, the paint's pretty decent. If I went there and this thing had no rust, I think this is a deal.
He's got coilovers. He's got wheels. Here's my concern. My concern is that the fender flares are covering the rust.
That's, like I said, if he has no rust, that's...
Yeah. Producer Nick's showing us a little bit of damage on one of the rear quarters. That's good eye. Good eye.
Look at the front fender there, though.
Yeah.
Get over there. I'm not sure what's going on there.
It looks like he's trying to do a cutout for the exhaust.
He did a really bad job of it, but still.
You know what? This car, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but this almost looks like a car that he bought from someone else that was a part project. Did a few shitty things to it, and now he needs to move it on. I could be wrong.
It's possible, but this feels like the kind of car that you could go in there, talk to him for a few days, and go and leave with a car for $11,000. You know what I mean?
A 1J swapped 280Z with lots of accessories, a wide body kit.
I mean, yes, it does need a drive shaft, a battery, and wiring and fuel lines, but
I'm sorry, that's so funny to me because it's like all it needs is a battery and wiring and fuel lines and a drive shaft.
But people are selling these cars for in this same price range, and they need paint, a motor swap, like they need everything that's already been done to this, plus that stuff. So I'm kind of leaning towards deal on this. Like, I'm not going to run out and buy it, but this is what these are running for, and I think he's asking a fair price.
Yeah, I'm in love with these cars. I always have been. You remember Casey Janes, our mutual friend? Yeah. He had a whole bunch of these before they really started going up in value.
I know.
And he's probably kicking himself now. Love you, Casey. But I've always had an affinity for these. And, for me, it's not like a hard deal. It's a deal with conditions.
I think this, considering, like I said, if it has no rust, this is a fair deal.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of, since this has a Rocket Bunny kit, I'm a little worried. I like the Rocket Bunny stuff to an extent. But I'm a little worried that Rocket Bunny kits in 7 years are going to look like Black Widow kits do to us now.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when you'd get the Black Widow Venom body kit, throw fog lights in it, and it had 9,000 vents, and it looked good to me. I was like, that's pretty cool. It looks good on that Prelude. And then a few years went by, and I was like, what was anyone thinking when they bought these?
Yeah.
These are atrocious.
Oh, I did the same thing. I suddenly had the realization that it looked like a vacuum cleaner. I don't know what it was exactly.
It looks
think
like
I was,
a cartoon vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, I was changing the belt in our vacuum cleaner, and I looked at it, and I was like, holy fuck, this thing's got a Black Widow body kit on it.
Yeah, it looks like that vacuum cleaner from that Toaster children's movie.
Yes, the brave little toaster.
Yeah.
What a scary fucking ball trip that was. That is a horrendous movie. Don't let your children watch that. Little pro tip for anyone that's a new parent. Don't let your children watch any of those fucked up children's cartoons from the 80s and 90s. They will ruin them.
Yeah, so I actually said this to a guy that was running a Black Widow running a Rocket Bunny kit, and I was like, man, I like that. And then I voiced my concern why I would be afraid to run that, and then I thought, wow, that was super rude.
Yeah.
And then I just moved on, but I did make a mental note not to say that to people who are literally running that body kit at that time. Like, that was super rude. I'm gonna try and cut that conversation off in the future.
Did you say anything to him? Like, I don't mean to shit in your peanut butter sandwich.
Well, no, he was talking about his car and kind of explaining I keep saying Rocket Bunny kit. I'm like, oh, I love that. And I'm like, I'm thinking about getting this, and I was thinking about getting the Rocket Bunny kit for what I'm thinking about getting, talking around them. Then I voiced talking kind of about what I was thinking about, but I'm afraid that the Rocket Bunny kit in the future is going to look, like body kits from the late 2000s did. And then I thought, oh yeah, he's run one too. So, but then I just let it slide.
Okay, yeah.
I was like,
don't call out your own mistakes.
well, I was just like, maybe he didn't catch it, so there's no reason to point it out,
Right. It's a beta move to be like, by the way, my bad.
Yeah.
Never admit your faults.
Look, this guy's not like a friend.
I know.
He's a guy I met.
Pro tip, marriage edition, never admit fault. So, by the way, we both think that this 80% deal.
That's where I'm at.
80% deal for both of us.
If I had a guarantee that it was pretty much rust-free or only had surface rust, I'd be fold in.
If you take $11,000 for it, and I actually had $11,000, I might be going to watch
I was going to say,
to view this
if
car.
he'll take $11,000 for it, I'm going to try and come up with $11,000.
Yeah, exactly.
If he took 12, I'd probably think about kind of come up with 12.
Yep.
This is on the cusp of being a super deal.
So, all right, there we go, everybody. Our first smoking deal in I don't know how many months. Take us out, Nick.
Smoking deal or smoking a doobie.
So much other stuff going on. I'll tell you what, Coy. I'm glad to be back in the studio with you. It's always a treat.
It is. But on that note, it is hotter than Satan's ballsack in here. I'm fucking dying.
I know. I got to get some air conditioning plumbed in here. We have AC in the house, but this one's the whole reason I'm able to use this room as a studio is because it's this little weird offshoot that doesn't get any airflow, and Corianne definitely doesn't want to be in here. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. All you out there, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. Please do like, subscribe. Don't be like Coy where he hits the springs on his mic stand when I'm trying to talk. Be a good person. Don't tell people how dog shit their Rocket Bunny kit's going to be. Be a good person. Be gracious. Share this out. Spread the good word. Spread the news. Right, Coy?
Do it. Just do it.
Do it now. Kill me.
Do the share button now.
So, for F. Coyson Masterson, producer Nick, all of the people that helped us cook that amazing alligator yesterday, come and see the photos, seriously. Check out Pardon My Fork, by the way, facebook.com/pardonmyfork. That's where we're going to be putting a lot of this stuff. We're also going to have some really interesting stuff coming up, so check that out. Make sure you like and subscribe to Booze and Barbecue on Facebook and Instagram. And for F. Coyson Masterson and producer Nick, this is Andy Will. See you next time.